The ancient Greeks, with their primitive forms of democracy and their small villages and communities, we are in the process of witnessing a historical event, the actual birth of a city. In the November elections this year, Lee County voters will have the opportunity to elect to establish Estero as its own incorporated municipality, soon possibly to be called the Villages of Estero. This is an important step in the government process and would mean significant advantages to the citizens who currently live within the proposed boundaries. It is also a chance to witness our government process, where it is proposed to be the council manager style of government, to go from inception to fruition. Voter turnout is key to the success of this bid. I stress that again, voter turnout is a key factor. There are surrounding communities such as Bonita Springs who actually do not want this incorporation to take place. In fact, according to Chris Ampere of the Lee County News Press, there was a vote for the residents of Pelican Landing, which is a community that lies on the border between Bonita Springs and Estero, to elect to annex that community from the proposed village should the November vote be successful. It is significant because Pelican Landing represents about $400 million in tax property values. That's a pretty big chunk of change for Bonita Springs to be losing out on. Then that's just one instance where members of surrounding communities will not want the incorporation to take place. Currently, when a resident of what is actually Estero pays their property taxes, those tax dollars are being spent to support other communities such as Cape Coral, North Fort Myers, the city of Fort Myers, East Lee, and Bonita Springs, and is not being spent here on our backyard. It's not being spent to support our schools. It's not being spent to improve our roads. It's not being spent on our community development, and it's not being spent on our businesses. Its revenue is being spent to support Lehigh, Cape Coral, and so on elsewhere in Lee County. To BJM Consulting, where Estero Council of Community Leaders were exploring the viability of incorporation, the primary goals to consider were the home rule, which would allow area residents to control the future destiny of their community, the preservation of the present high quality of life, to preserve the integrity of the Estero Fire District, the community planning area, return a greater share to of the Lee County tax dollars to the community, which, as I stated, is being sent elsewhere. It would build a community-centered local government that would meet the needs of the businesses and the residents alike, and manage the development of over 1,000 acres of vacant property along 2 commercial corridors of US 41 and Corkscrew Road. The fact is Estero is not just the fastest growing community in Lee County. It's not just the fastest growing community in the state of Florida. According to USA Today, Estero is the fastest growing community in the country. We've got Coconut Point, we've got Miramar Outlets, we've got FGCU, we've got Gulf Coast Town Center. We have a virtual shopper's paradise, and believe me, we built it and they are coming. Okay, I'm going to step back because I don't want this to sound so biased for this incorporation to happen. And actually, that isn't the point of this speech. It is to establish the fact that it is really important to get out and vote. Voter turnout is key to the success or fail of this bid. The birth of a municipality is exciting to witness. If you don't sit up and take notice, the odds are you may not have this opportunity to see this again. There are numerous benefits to the citizens within Estero should this bid be successful, and there are significant disadvantages to the citizens of surrounding communities that really don't want to see this incorporation happen. Places like North Fort Myers, East Lehigh, Bonita Springs, they will lose out big time should this election result be yes. The only way to make sure that your voice is heard is to say it out loud, and the only way to do that is to get out and vote.